This is Steve. Steve lives with his mother and father in Sunderland and is currently unemployed.
Well, these days, to be a good football manager, you need a lot of things. You need to have faith in your players and well, deal with the so-called superstars and the mass hysteria which goes with it. You've got to make decisions as a manager. You know, you've got to learn your trade, whether you're an arm round the shoulder type manager or a disciplinarian. You know, whether you wear a suit as I do or a tracksuit. And I think those are the main things you have to think about when you're going into a business like football management.
Steve is addicted to Football Manager, and whilst a relatively new condition, it has become an increasing problem in Great Britain, with 1 in 5 males that play the game showing symptoms.
Well, I'll probably spend around 16 to 17 hours a day on it, because you know I need the rest for sleep, obviously, but you know, apart from that, it's the best way I can get there to really getting close to me players. And if you get to know your players, I feel that you get the best out of them. For me, you've got to be up close and personal with them, and it's got to be a bit intimate, if you know what I mean. I've been on the game since 2003, and my mother and father got it for me at Christmas that year, and my life's never been better since, really. I haven't looked back. Basically, in the game, you take over a club of your choice, and within the league, the football league, or you can even get conference north or south now, and there's so many different clubs, it's hard to choose from. You can manage teams all over the world. You get to manage your own players, do your tactics, sign your own players, and do media interviews like this. But you know, I mean, it's a very good game, but to me, it's a bit more than that. It's more life and death to me, and I think that's the way the game should be played.
So you've been unemployed since you left school. Do you not think you could spend the time looking for a job instead of playing on Football Manager?
Well, I mean, people will say unemployed, but I've been the manager of Port Vale now for 3 seasons, and I think that's testament to the job that I've done there. I mean, we've gone in there and we've done a fantastic job keeping ourselves in League 2, and hopefully we're going to progress from there.
So what about real life? Have you ever had a real job?
Well, unfortunately I haven't, but it's not through the lack of trying, really. When Gordon got the boot from Middlesbrough, Gordon Strachan, which I thought was harsh at the time, I applied for his job. But, I mean, I've taken Yeovil 30 seasons to get the Champions League. It took 30 seasons, but we got there. I saved Gillingham from playing conference football and took Torquay to the dizzy heights of the Championship. So if that's not what they're looking for in a manager, I really, really don't know what is.
So what are your best achievements in the game so far?
Well, there's a couple that stand out, that's for sure. We've obviously, I mentioned the Gillingham one where we kept them above conference level, and of course the Coventry team where we've won the FA Cup as well. And obviously when I relegated Coventry, I got them into the Johnson's Paint Trophy, and we won that as well. And I've got the trophies here.
So how have you got the trophies? Because it's not a real game, is it?
Well, I mean, I have had to buy them myself, but it's nothing that we haven't won before.
And as you can see, E equals MC squared.
We spoke to Dr. Keys, who is a specialist in the subject.
Steve's condition is severe. He may die. I'm not going to lie. It entails a lot of problems, problematic procedures, problematic problems. It involves threefold: the brain, the muscles, and death. The brain is a circle. And what do you see when you got a game? Circles. Circles. You do not want to look at more circles, because that will entail muscular pain and death. Steve will die.
Can you control the condition?
No. Unless you take medicine.
What kind of medicine?
Paracetamol, ibuprofen, Calpol.
How severe is Steve's condition?
It's very severe. He's on death's door.
Unfortunately, Dr. Keys' prediction turned out to be true, and Steve passed away whilst watching his beloved Port Vale be relegated to the conference. More awareness is now given to the condition known as footy manaholicism, or FMH.